If it involves serial killers, psychopaths, and unsolved true crime, count me in. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. This is another episode of Buzz on the Case. I want you guys to go on over there to the ABC 2020 and get yourselves, abreast to what's going on with this case. 2020, they produce some good content, It's just good TV. The last 2020 case I did highlighted the Murdaugh family. We all knew about that one because that one was circulating on social media, not just the news. And so here we are with another one. Diane Staudte. She is a mother of 4. She killed she killed 3 of her children, but that was her attempt. She killed her son. She tried to kill her daughter, and she was on her way headed to kill another one of her daughters. And then there was another daughter that was kind of like her favorite. She was safe. Let's just get into the story. So Diane Staudte, like I said, she's a mother. She is giving an interview. And so I'm thinking, okay, what you got to say for yourself, Diane? Diane blamed everybody around her, and she took no responsibility for what she had done. So here we go. So Diane, mother, like I said, she's a working mother. She was a nurse. Her husband, Mark, was a musician. He was a struggling musician, so he was, always, out at night, spending more money, than money is coming in. And so there are issues there, but nothing really major. His bandmates start to notice he looks a little sickly. His color has changed. He's like yellow. He's starting to move a little bit slower. And on a Sunday, the man passed away. So Friday, he was sick. And then come Sunday, he was gone. Nobody thought anything of it, of course, it just seemed like it was natural causes. She blamed it on his drug use. And the only drugs he was using was marijuana. And we know marijuana ain't doing what happened to him. She has a son, Sean, who is autistic. Okay, let me back up. After her husband, Mark, passed away, of course, she got insurance money and she moved her family to another house. They are church-going people. They attend a Lutheran church, and their pastor is heavily involved in their lives. And so she's one of those she's a church-going woman, meaning she stay in the church house for Bible studies on Sunday or Saturday. She there. She gonna be there anytime the doors of the church are open. And so we got Mark gone. Okay, that's a sad situation. Then her son, Sean, who, like I said, who is autistic, he falls ill and he died over the weekend. And so now pastor's like, something isn't right about this because your son dies in the house, and instead of calling the police, you take your ass to church. She went to church. She went to church and left her child just dead in the house. Then when she got back, she finally decided, okay, let's call the coroner. And the new neighbors, it's a Karen. She nosy. And I mean, sometimes they nosy at the right time. And so she meddling around trying to figure out what's going on. And the police tell her, that there was a death at the house. And still, everybody's like clueless as to what is happening with this family. Like, is it a curse? What's going on? So we got Mark gone. Now Sean is gone. Their daughter, Sarah, also falls ill out of nowhere. And she gets so bad, her sister, Rachel, is the one who calls 911 and gets her some help. And they take her to the hospital, and just in time, all of her organs are starting to fail. Her brain is losing activity. They don't know what is happening to her. They're running all these tests, still can't figure out what's going on. And they think okay, Daddy died, then Sean died. Okay, something is wrong. Like, what's going on here? Now we're going to have to broaden our search as far as, known bacteria and infections go. And so after that, detectives are called, of course, into the hospital. This is the third family member, and so they done called the police. They've also gotten an anonymous tip from it ain't anonymous really, because he was just like, I said it, I called. Pastor done called in an anonymous tip and, let the people know something is going on. I ain't blaming nobody, but y'all need to get over there and see what's going on at the Staudte house. And so they do a little more investigating, and they take samples of Sean's DNA and what they had, from him, and they test both of them. And so it comes back as poisoning. And it's they check for all the poisoning, arsenic, all of that, and none of that came back. And then they do some more digging, and it comes out it's antifreeze. And so she's poisoned her husband, her son, and her daughter with the antifreeze, and she was headed to go get Brianna, the youngest daughter. Now they got Diane in police custody. So of course, what's going on with this? They're asking her questions. She's free to go. So the detective he's being very careful, not to alarm her in any way, or not to get her, to a place where she just runs, because she is free to go. She's not under arrest or anything like that. They just brought her, and you should already know that if the detectives call you up like, hey, can we get you to come down and answer a few questions about a murder or about a death, and you did it, you might as well run right then and there, because you're not leaving the precinct. Once you get in there, you're not leaving. It's like, I don't understand why these people go sit up in them people's face like, yeah, okay. Like you gonna really be able to leave. They already know what you did, Diane. They already know. Anyway, she's so cavalier and matter of fact about all of the details, and she finally is like, because he's asking, like, what's going on, like your husband, your son, now your daughter, like what's going on, what is happening? And she says, well, I know they all were drinking antifreeze. Like, people just get up in the morning and say, let me get my antifreeze, and just get to drinking. The detective scooted closer. He was like, now, yeah, they drank the antifreeze, but I don't think they knew. You knew they was drinking antifreeze, but I don't think they knew that they were drinking antifreeze. And she still points fingers everywhere else. What you put it in? She put it in the Coke. For her husband, she put it in his Gatorade. And this was over time, giving them small doses of it over time. It don't take long for antifreeze to like bum rush your system and just tear it all up, because that's what happens. What the chemicals inside of antifreeze break down and turn into bacteria that attacks your organs. So like from the inside out, you just rotten. That's a bad way to go, because you suffer. Like you're sick, you don't know what's going on, the vomiting, all of that. It's not an easy way to go, like at all. It's just not easily detectable. Like you can't taste it, you can't smell it, or none of that. So if it's in your food, you won't know. But anyway, she put it in the Coke for the kids. And her motive in all of this is, she said her husband was on her nerves. She had just got sick of it. She painted a picture of him being involved in drugs, like some heavier drugs, with his musician friends. That didn't turn out to be true. Like nobody could corroborate that. Everybody was like, that he wasn't that guy. Weed, yes. All that other stuff she talking, no. Sean, he's autistic, so I guess she just was tired of taking care of him, so that's why he had to go. And then we got Sarah. Sarah was also, why not get rid of her too, I guess. Like, I don't even know. They didn't even have no reason for that. They're still searching around the house and all of that, and they come across a diary. And it is her oldest daughter, Rachel's diary. They reading and skimming it. And come to find out, Rachel knew the whole time that her mama was poisoning her daddy and her siblings. Rachel was in on the shits. Rachel was in on it. Rachel was her favorite. And she and Rachel thought that they were just going to ride off into the sunset and just that was just gonna be that. She just wanted it to be the two of them. They got along better. They just understood one another. Both of y'all are sinister and psychotic. That's what I gather, that you both had the same stuff going on mentally. And so it was easy for Diane to kind of coerce her daughter into this. Like, it didn't take much, I'm sure. Rachel sitting up there crying too in her interrogation room. She flat out just tells it all. Yeah, especially when he like, so this is a journal entry. You recognize that? And she looked, that's mine. That's mine. She just, you know, her head falls and she just start crying. I ain't no crying now, Rachel. You wasn't crying when you were watching your brother die slow. You wasn't crying when you was watching your daddy die slow. You weren't crying then. You was thinking, oh, the plan's in motion. Okay, Sarah's next. Like, she literally had all the children listed. And Brianna was next, the youngest. So, Sarah, not Sarah. What's the lady name? Rachel and Diane, of course, are now under arrest. Diane still makes it seem like she was pushed into doing this. Like she said, she painted another story. Like the people her husband were involved with kind of came back. Like he was involved with the cartel or something, and they came back and retaliated in some kind of way. Ain't nobody buying that lady. Ain't nobody buying. You done already confessed. So don't sit up in this interview now and try to change the story. We got the interrogation tapes right here. I saw you admit to it. I saw you confess. We saw Rachel confess. And it wasn't no third party in the room. It wasn't nobody over there sitting over there with you at gunpoint telling you poison your kids, poison your whole family. No, you decided to do that on your own because you was tired of being a mama to your 4 kids. You only wanted one baby, Rachel. And you probably would have got rid of her too, you know, later on down the road because something is wrong. Something is wrong with you mentally, lady. She was making me mad, just really sitting up in that lady face like, oh, I can't discuss that. I can't tell you. I don't know. I can't tell you what. I don't know. Because the lady like, so who told you to do it? I can't tell you that. You can't tell me? I can't tell you that. It's, you know, my life is in danger. Like in here, my life. Yeah, I bet. Because if the ladies, if the butch in them in the prison find out that you killed your family, kids included, oh yeah, they gonna be on that ass. And that's what you're scared of. You don't want that to get back to the prison yard. That you know, committed a whole, what is it called? Familicide? Filicide? When you kill your whole family? Don't get me to lying. But when they find that out, it's gonna be up for that ass. And so I guess you better sit up on ABC 2020 and tell these people that it was somebody else that told you to do it, because you already know what it's gonna be when you walk back in there in general population. And everybody's like, oh, your kids, ma'am? You killed your kids? We don't do that. We don't respect that. We don't respect no child killer. Nobody fooling with the elderly. We don't respect that. In the crime world, you know, the kids are off limits, and you mess with the kids, now we got problems on the yard. Anyway, her daughter Rachel ends up getting life in prison without the possibility. No, she got life, and she 2 life sentences at that, I believe, but she's eligible for parole after 45 years. So more than likely she'll get out because, you know, she was pressured by her mom, and, you know, her mama convinced her to do this, and, you know, she got a little bit of, you know, victim in it as well. She's a little bit of a victim as well. As for Diane, she took a deal. She took like I forgot what they called it. They said she took a alter plea deal, something like that. Lawyers, drop it in the comments. Even though I know y'all ain't gonna be in the comments. She took a plea deal and she got life without parole. So she gonna die in prison. Like I said, Rachel got the 2 life sentences and she gonna get out maybe after 45 years. She'll be 65 years old. This case was just all bad. And it made me more upset that they interviewed the person that committed the crime, and they still want to lie. Like, you could have gotten a little bit of grace from the public if you at least were honest, if you know, showed a little bit of remorse. But she just, yeah, I did it and I'll do it again. I'll do it again. That's her disposition. I'll do it again. I mean, I'll do it again. And like I said, Sarah ended up recovering. She ended up surviving her poisoning. It left lasting effects. So now she lives with us, in assisted living. I'm sure she's a little bit more slower now. She had to relearn everything, walk, talk, eat, all of that. She had to relearn it all. And so, yeah, there's that. She, got up and did a victim's speech, at the trial, and she forgave her mom and her sister for what they did. She was mad though, and when she did do an interview, she told the lady, if I had something to say, I'd slap both of them and call them B words. I was like, girl, go and say it. Go and say it's a bitch. That's what you'll do. Bitch. That's what you'll do, girl. Go on and say it. When people try to take you out and you sitting up out in B word. F all that, Sarah. F all that. You was on your way to college. No, excuse me. She had finished college. She had just finished college. But she was on her way to go do something else. And they done ruined it for her. Now she living off assisted living. And she need help with everything. I done got mad all over again for post Sarah. I don't know what happened to Brianna, the youngest. Maybe she got adopted. I'm sure she did. Hopefully she got adopted. I hope they're doing well and thriving in spite of they sorry ass mammy and they bald-headed ass sister. She wasn't bald-headed, but it's an insult. Anyway, let me get off of here. I got things to do. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'm going to chat with y'all later. Peace and light.